Hey friends, I'm Amy, and today we're making a very old dish invented the whole way back in the 1500s, chicken Florentine. It sounds Italian, but it's actually French, but still sort of Italian. But it kind of depends, since it was invented in France using French cooking techniques, but the inventors were Catherine de Medici's transplanted Italian chefs. So both or neither, or sort of maybe both. Anyway, we're making my very own version of this, which is saucy and creamy and goes beautifully over rice. So let's get cooking. To start, we have our Choppy Prep. And I want to stress that this is another dish where it's important to have all of your ingredients ready before starting, since it actually comes together pretty quick. First, mince up 3 garlic cloves, which is about 3 teaspoons of minced garlic, and then set that to the side. Next, do the same with 1 or 2 shallots, depending on how much of that onion flavor you would like in your sauce. We want the shallot minced very, very fine, about the same size as the minced garlic. Then set the shallot to the side as well, and last we'll get our mushrooms. We want 16 ounces of brown mushrooms, and we want to slice these into decent sized slices. We don't want like honkin' thick mushroom slices, but we also don't want them to be too thin. They will shrink some as they cook, and we want them to still be decently bite-sized at the end. Now you can also buy pre-sliced mushrooms for this and skip this step of the Choppy Prep if you would prefer that to slicing these up. Set these to the side as well, and that is all the Choppy Prep for the vegetables in this dish. Last, but definitely not least, we need our chicken. So for this recipe, you want either 4 small to medium-sized chicken breasts or 2 ginormous monstrosities like these. If you have smaller chicken breasts, just trim off anything you don't want. If you have gigantic chicken breasts, you'll want to butterfly them as well, or cut them in half like I'm doing here, so you end up with 4 chicken cutlets. I also still have the tenders on these, so I'm just going to include these in the dish too. Then pat the chicken dry with some paper towels and set them to the side, and that is everything for the Choppy Prep. Now to dredge our chicken. In a shallow container, add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a low pinch of salt, and a little bit of black pepper. Whisk that up so everything is combined, and then roll each piece of chicken in the flour mixture. This isn't a full breading that we're doing, it's just a coating that's going to add flavor and help the chicken to have a nice, thin, delicate golden crust. And that is all of the prep. To the stove. In a large skillet, heat about 2 tablespoons of olive oil over medium-high heat until it's hot and shimmery. Add in half of the chicken so the pan isn't overcrowded, and cook the chicken on each side for 5 to 6 minutes until the chicken is nice and golden with a lovely delicate crust and the meat reads 165 degrees. Then cook the second batch and set all of the chicken to the side on a clean plate. Turn the heat down to medium and add the minced shallot. Saute the shallot until it's soft and translucent and starting to take on a golden brown color, which should only take about a minute because this pan is pretty hot at the moment. You can also add some more oil if the pan looks a little dry as we cook the veggies, up to about 2 more tablespoons worth if needed. Once the shallot is starting to show some color, add in the mushrooms and continue to saute them in the oil until the mushrooms are cooked through and most of the liquid they release has evaporated, which should be about 3 to 4 minutes. Add in the minced garlic and stir continuously for about 30 seconds until the garlic becomes fragrant. Now add in 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and stir it in until all the vegetables are coated in the flour. We need to cook this, stirring it constantly for a minute or so to cook out that raw flour taste, which is sort of like chalk. Next, pour in a 1/4 cup of dry white wine, and I'm using some Pinot Grigio here. Deglaze the pan for about a minute and scrape up that flavorful fond on the bottom, and with the wine, it should just come right up. Let that wine simmer for another minute so it cooks out that fresh alcohol flavor. Now pour in 1 to 1.5 cups of chicken stock, depending on how much sauce you want, as well as 1 cup of heavy cream, and stir everything up really well. Bring it all back to a simmer, which should only take a minute or so, and then let the sauce simmer for another 3 to 4 minutes until that sauce starts to thicken. Add in 3/4 of a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese and stir until the cheese is fully melted. I also usually do a quick taste test right around here and add any additional salt or pepper if it needs any more. You can see here the sauce is thickening up, so we'll add in about 6 ounces of fresh spinach or baby spinach. Either one is good. Stir in the spinach for a minute until it's nice and softened and wilted. I know it looks like way too much spinach at the moment, but it shrinks down a ton as it softens. Last, we're gonna put all the chicken back into the pan, as well as the juices on the plate, and cover them with the sauce. Let the pan simmer for another minute or two just to make sure the chicken is fully heated through again, and our creamy chicken Florentine is done. Look at that beautiful chicken Florentine. The sauce is lovely and silky. It's not too thick, but it's definitely not watery. It smells like spinach and garlic and mushrooms, and I cannot wait to eat way more of this than I should. You can serve this over any type of starch, mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes, even pasta, but my favorite way to eat this is over rice. Add a generous topping of freshly shredded Parmesan, and dinner is served. This dish is savory and comforting, but it's also complex with layers and layers of flavor. Juicy chicken, garlic and onion with the earthy mushrooms, fresh green flavor of the spinach. The sauce, it's just luxurious. I'm not really sure how else to describe it. That little hint of acidity from the wine and the Parmesan as a finishing touch. It's definitely a dinner fit for royalty, that is for sure. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, maybe leave me a comment below if you enjoyed making this French or Italian or French or whatever, this amazingly luxurious dinner with me. Come and hang out in my kitchen on Wednesdays, because we're making all our favorite restaurant foods at home. Those are turning out so much better than the restaurants, and we're getting double the food for half the price, and most times even more than that. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you back here next Sunday for another comforting, cozy, home-cooked meal. Bye!